Hi guys, welcome back to Salvage and welcome back to the channel. Right, in today's video we'll be doing a final video on the S4 as I've been promising for the last few weeks. So we've got a cost breakdown, we're going to take it for its first road test, we're going to take it for an MOT, hopefully she's going to pass, and then we're going to discuss some future plans, a couple of drive-bys of the exhaust, and also we're going to do a full cost breakdown, so what I bought the car for, how much I've spent on parts, and what I think the car is going to be worth, which will leave us with an estimated profit for the S4 project build. So as always guys, if you do enjoy these videos, please do subscribe, helps a lot with the channel, and if you haven't already, please do head over to my Instagram page, saving_salvage, just head over there for just a few pictures during the week in between uploads. Right, so that's enough talking, let's crack on and get on with the S4. Right, so today is MOT day for the S4 and also the first road test. Obviously I don't want to be driving it too far on the road with no MOT, so the only time you're actually allowed to drive it on the road is when it's booked in for MOT. So the first thing we're going to do is actually take it to fill up with some fuel because we have none left. Nicely up to 60, gearbox seems to be working alright, got into top gear, so all the gears seem to have worked. So I come to the first roundabout, we'll go for the classic brake check. Yep, they work. Although it has just made me realise I have a clip missing on my sun visor because that just shot forward. That's good. Need a clip. Sounds good, accelerates good, engine feels, sounds good, brakes good, brake nice and square, can't hear any rattles or anything. Steers in a straight line because obviously we had that steering arm was impacted, but luckily I think where it just snapped off the suspension arm, it didn't actually do any damage to the steering rack itself, so it was just a clean brake. So I reckon we should, now she's warmed up, stick her into sport. Obviously 60, and that was pulls well. Being a supercharger is a bit easier than a turbo because it's belt driven, so there shouldn't really be any issues. Right, just before we drop it off to MOT, I'm just going to stick some fuel in it as I said, because it is on 0 range now after doing that nice 60 mile an hour sprint. So it's going to stick some fuel in it and get it over to MOT. I have a 12:30 test and it is now 12 o'clock, so also giving it to them nice and warm as well, so that obviously help with the emissions, just in case the emissions are a little bit off. Giving them the car when it's nice and warmed up will help the emissions. So I've just filled it up and now I'm just going to drop it at the MOT station for an MOT test. Hopefully she'll pass. Can't see anything on it that should even get an advisory, to be fair. So my plans for the car. Actually, no. I'll tell you my plans once I've found out it's passed, and then we'll go from there. Right, guys, just picked up the S4 from MOT, and the good news is she has passed. Unfortunately, though, which is a little bit annoying, she did get one advisory for a slight cut in the side wall of one of the near side front tyre. It was. I'll just show you it quickly when I stop and get out, but there's nothing really at all. So a bit annoying that it's got that very annoying small advisory, but she has passed, so she's got 12 months MOT. So now I know she's all road legal and good to go. My plans for the car now, I'm going to drive around in it for a little bit, purely because I don't actually have another car. Actually, I might not have told anyone yet, my 8V RS3, the one that's been on the channel a few times but doesn't really feature much, I have now actually sold that. that was sold a couple of weeks ago to fund the Mustang. So that has now gone. So I don't actually have a daily car to drive around in, because most of them don't work. So I am actually going to drive around in this for a little bit. I'm going to use this as a daily driver. I don't know how long for, yeah, I thought it'd be a good test as well, just to make sure the car's all sweet, no issues with it at all. So I'm going to tax it for the month, and then this will be my daily driver for a little bit. Right guys, I was going to film this outside, but unfortunately due to the pissing rain, I'm going to do it inside the car. Right, now is time for the full cost breakdown for the car, including what I bought it for, what I spent on it, gives me a grand total, and what I think the car is worth, which obviously then will give me a potential profit. I haven't included the exhaust in this because it was a bit of like a spur of the moment thing. It was second hand, so the exhaust was 650 quid. That's what I paid for it second hand. I don't think it's added any sound to the car at all. It looks nice, but I don't think there's really any sound benefit at all, so I may well take that off, put the standard one back on, and sell it on to someone else who, it is a nicer tone at idle, and it is a nicer tone in general, but I do like them to be a bit louder, and it didn't really increase the noise level at all. So I may take that off and sell it. So I haven't included the exhaust in the costing. So we'll get into the car. So the car cost me all in from Copart £5,350. So that was the car, and now is the stuff that I've bought to get it in order for it to have passed its MOT, which it did today. So the first thing we bought was a set of wheels with tyres, because if you remember, 2 of the tyres were slit and it had horrible wheels on it. So the wheels and tyres were £300. And I haven't also included the fact that I may be able to sell the standard ones for, I don't know, 100 quid possibly. I haven't taken that into consideration, so we'll leave it out. So the wheels were £300. We had a crank pulley, a genuine new crank pulley, which was £100 delivered. We had the rad pack, which was the fans, condenser and radiator. That was £260 delivered. We had a offside washer jet, which was £15. We had a front crash bar, which again was £50. Most of these parts I used, apart from the crank pulley, washer jet, the belts. Actually no, quite a lot of it was new, looking at this list. Right, so where do we go up to? So we got the crash bar, which was 50 quid, that was second hand. All the service items, obviously I did the service myself, so it was just the parts that I paid for, which was £60. And I had the supercharger belt and the auxiliary belt, which was £35. I had that big suspension arm, the main unit, which was new, that was £140. Then we had the windscreen done, which was £150. Which gives us, and I've also allowed £100 for miscellaneous, so like electrical connectors. What else was there? There was just a few little, like the disc guard, and a few other bits that I had to get from Audi, like bumper clips, just loads of little bits like that. It probably wasn't 100 quid, but I've just put £100 just for argument's sake. So miscellaneous £100. That gives us a grand total, including the car, of £6,560. I didn't actually know, I've added this up today, I didn't actually have a clue what I spent on the car. I actually guessed it to be a bit more than that, so I'm pretty happy with that. Personally, I think the car's worth sort of around £10,000 in the condition it is, with the service history and 12 months MOT. I spoke to Audi, by the way, for the service history. It had 3 services before I got it before them. The last one was done at 60k. Obviously I've done it at 83, so it's there enough. It's only about 3,000 miles overdue, so I'm happy with that. So it's had now 4 services, so it's got good service history, 12 months MOT, so I believe the car is worth around the £10,000 mark. So
if we do get £10,000 for it, that would leave us a profit of £3,440, which I don't think is too bad, considering we got this from Copart. It was a bit of a blind purchase. Front end was missing, and yeah, so I think that's not bad going.
Right, so that's it for today's video, guys. So that's now the S4 completely done. Everything, all the cost breakdown, everything, first drive, MOT, all good and all finished. So that is the S4 done. If any of you guys are interested in buying it in the not too distant future, I will let you know. But for the time being, I will be driving around in it myself as a daily car. So the next video, we will either be back on the Mustang once I've heard about the chassis, or we might be fitting the wishbones to the S3 and getting that down for a retest, and that'll be done as well. So as always, guys, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.